Welcome back, everybody. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Awesome. Today we're going to be tackling a pretty famous book I think a lot of people have probably heard of.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's called Brave New World
Okay.
by
Yeah.
Aldous Huxley.
Right.
And kind of a classic, but we're not just going to sit here and summarize it.
Right.
We really want to look at how all the ideas in this book, how they relate to today.
Oh, interesting.
From, we're talking about happiness that's kind of manufactured for us.
You're right.
To ways that society can, kind of engineer people in a way.
Yeah.
Almost. So we want to see how all those ideas relate to the world today and, hopefully figure out how it connects to your life as a listener.
Right. Because, Brave New World, I think it's really interesting because it kind of, holds up this mirror in a way to, what we want.
Right.
But, not in, a regular way. It's like a distorted mirror. It's like, oh, is this really what we want?
Yeah.
If we're, trying to make everything convenient, and comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean we're kind of I don't know, giving up certain things, like maybe freedom or our individuality?
Yeah. Are we sleepwalking into that? You know?
Yeah.
It's a great book. I think it's really thought-provoking. So
Yeah.
right away, he kind of throws you into this future by taking you on a tour of what's called the Central London Hatchery and Conditioning Center.
Okay.
Which is a factory for making people.
A factory for making people. Okay.
And it's, churning out babies,
Wow.
from these artificial wombs. And it's already deciding, what their role is going to be in society.
Oh, wow.
You're going to be an alpha. You're going to be a beta.
Right.
Gamma, delta, all the way down,
The whole Greek alphabet of humanity.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So it's a vision of bioengineering taken super far.
Yeah, but it's also not that far-fetched if you think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
we already have all this stuff about, genetic screening.
Right.
We have all this stuff with reproductive technology.
Yeah.
And we're already having these discussions about designer babies, about being able to select for traits.
Right. So where do we draw the line?
Yeah, exactly. And so that's one thing I think Huxley, he saw that slippery slope
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just about the babies, right? They also, in the book, they use something called hypnopedia, which is sleep teaching.
Oh, wow.
Where they instill these beliefs and values while people are sleeping.
So it's you're being taught without even knowing it.
Exactly.
Oh.
So it makes you think how much of our own opinions about things
Right.
are shaped by what we're exposed to all the time.
Yeah, the media.
The media,
Advertising, all that.
social media, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we even know?
Yeah, how much is it really us thinking?
Right.
And how much is it everything else?
Yeah. And I feel especially today.
Yeah.
Think about how these algorithms are they show us the news feed
Right.
on social media based on what they think we want to see.
Mm-hmm.
And the ads are all tailored to us.
So it's I don't know, it's a kind of a subtle form of conditioning almost, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And it's pretty, I don't know, it's kind of a little creepy if you think about it too much.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're getting hypnopedic messages.
Right.
But it's definitely
nudging us, kind of.
It's nudging you, yeah, toward certain things.
Yeah, for sure.
Toward products, ideas, even beliefs, I think.
Right.
And it's hard to step back from that sometimes.
Yeah, and know what's really, really you.
Yeah. And so in Brave New World, one of the things that kind of surprised me when I first read it
Yeah.
is how much they're obsessed with happiness.
Okay.
That is the ultimate goal in this society.
Above everything else.
Above everything else.
Yeah.
And they achieve it through, they have a lot of casual sex. They have this drug that they take called soma that alters their mood.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically suppress any kind of strong emotion.
Wow.
So it kind of sounds nice on the surface.
Who doesn't want to be happy? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
If you could just take something and you're just happy.
Yeah. But Huxley makes you question, is it really that simple?
Yeah.
What's the cost?
What are you giving up?
Yeah, what are you giving up to have that?
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, it makes me think about, today.
Yeah.
There's this big, focus on happiness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you should always be positive.
And, all these like self-help gurus
Right.
promising like instant gratification.
Right.
And it's like, are we kind of like, I don't know, avoiding negative emotions and just like always trying to be happy?
Yeah.
Like, are we losing something by doing that?
Maybe. I mean, are we trading something for that?
Yeah, like maybe depth or authenticity.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good point. I mean, like, even in the book, there's this character named Bernard Marx.
Okay.
Who's an alpha, so he's like, high up in society.
Mm-hmm.
He has all the things that they say are valuable,
Okay.
but he's still unhappy.
Real.
He's got status, he's got pleasure, he's got access to all the soma he wants,
But he's still not happy.
but he's just not happy.
That's interesting.
He feels empty.
Wow.
So it's like, it shows that, like, maybe there's a flaw in that whole logic
Right.
that the world state has.
Like maybe you can't just engineer happiness.
Yeah. Like, if you get rid of pain and struggle,
Right.
do you also get rid of the stuff that makes you grow?
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that makes you resilient?
Right. Yeah.
The stuff that gives you meaning in life?
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's all connected.
Yeah. And like, think about all those, those Instagram lives where everyone is always perfect.
Right.
And they're like, always smiling. And they're like, look at my perfect life.
Yeah.
It's like, is that just modern day soma? Like, are we just like numbing ourselves
Yeah, it's a good
to the the complexities of real life?
Yeah. And so that's just like the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Like, Huxley goes even deeper than that
Okay.
in this book.
I'm intrigued.
But we'll have to save that for part 2.
Sounds good.
Right.
So it's not, just our feelings and stuff that they're like messing with in this
Right.
book. Like Brave New World also shows us a society that's like all about consumerism, like buying stuff all the time. And they're like conditioned to believe all these slogans like
Right.
ending is better than mending.
Yeah.
And the more stitches, the less riches. Like,
Oh, yeah.
do those sound familiar at all?
It's like he was looking into my Amazon cart or something.
Right.
Like, we're just drowning in all this stuff.
Mhm.
Like fast fashion gadgets
what-
that, they break right away.
No, like planned obsolescence.
Yeah.
They want it to break, so you have to buy a new one.
Exactly. And it's I don't know, it's just this constant pressure to like buy the new thing.
Yeah.
And it's exhausting.
It's exhausting, and it's bad for the planet, too.
It is.
All that waste.
Yeah. It's like what Huxley is showing us is like the psychology behind it.
Right.
It's not, consumerism isn't just about like having stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a way to control people
Oh, wow.
in Brave New World.
So, like, keep them distracted.
Yeah. Keep them distracted, keep them wanting more, keep them
Mm-hmm.
like, feeling like their identity is tied to what they buy.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. And then they have these things in the book. I think they're called feelies.
Feelies.
Yeah, they're like these sensory movies where you can like experience everything.
Oh, wow.
Like almost like a virtual reality thing, but even like more intense.
It's like a total escape from reality.
It is. And it makes me think, like, are we doing the same thing today?
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Like with our screens and social media.
Yeah.
Like how much time do we spend like just scrolling?
Scrolling, liking, comparing ourselves to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a way to escape, like, real life.
Yeah, I think so too. And then, in Brave New World, they have this one character.
Mm-hmm.
His name's John, and they call him the Savage.
The Savage. Okay.
Yeah, he's from this reservation where
Oh.
life is totally different.
Oh.
It's like more raw, more natural. Like they actually experience like real love. They experience loss.
Okay.
And he reads Shakespeare.
He reads Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's like a total misfit in this world state.
He is.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't fit in at all.
Right.
And so like I think he's such an important character
Mm-hmm.
because he represents all of these things that they've gotten rid of in the world state. Like he's passionate.
Right.
He's spiritual.
Okay.
He wants real connection.
It's like he's like
Yeah.
like a real human.
Yeah, like he's just a real human being.
Okay, yeah.
And so it's like he's this walking reminder that there's more to life than just comfort and that manufactured happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And his struggle to like adapt to the world state.
Right.
It shows this tension between like being an individual and conforming
Yeah.
and between like freedom and control.
Right. Right.
Yeah, like what are we willing to give up for stability?
Yeah.
Are we like becoming so used to being told like what to think and what to buy
Mhm.
what to feel even.
Right.
That we lose the ability to, like, question things.
Mm-hmm.
To, like, disagree.
Disagree, yeah.
Yeah, to, like, find our own path.
Right.
So, like, that's the big question, I think. Like,
Yeah.
how do we navigate this?
This crazy world.
Yeah, this crazy world. Like, how do we have the conveniences of modern life, but also keep our values?
Right.
Keep our individuality.
Yeah.
Keep our ability to, like, connect with each other in a real way.
Right.
Like, that's the million-dollar question.
That's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
And I don't know if Huxley gives us the answer.
Right.
But I think at least he makes us think about it.
Yeah, he does.
Like, he gives us, like, a way to think about the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, question our assumptions.
Yeah.
Not, just go for the easy answer.
Right.
And remember that, like, progress isn't always a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it depends on, like, what are we progressing towards?
Yeah.
Like, what's the goal?
Yeah. Yeah. What is the point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like Huxley is giving us, like, a warning sign in this book.
Yeah, it's a cautionary tale.
About how, like, appealing it can be to just go for, like, the easy comfort and convenience.
Right.
Like, it's really easy to just, like, get swept up in that.
Yeah, especially when society is kind of like, telling you that's what you should want.
Exactly.
Like, it's promising you happiness on a silver platter.
If you just, like, do what we tell you.
Yeah, just follow the rules and you'll be happy.
Yeah.
But, what's really scary
Yeah.
is that in Brave New World, the people aren't, like, forced to live this way. They actually want it.
Yeah, they embrace it.
They embrace it. This, like, engineered happiness.
Yeah.
These, very carefully planned experiences. And I think, they've traded freedom for stability.
Right.
And they've traded, like, real depth for just, like, superficial stuff.
Yeah.
And the result is, like, a society that doesn't have any real meaning.
It's empty.
It's empty.
Like, the human spirit is just, like, gone.
It's like it's been tamed.
It's been domesticated.
Yeah.
And so it's like they got what they wanted.
Right.
Right. Like, they have comfort. They have pleasure.
No pain, no struggle.
Yeah, no pain, no struggle. But then they're left with this, like, emptiness that they can't fill.
Like a void.
Yeah.
With
Soma or anything.
Yeah, you can't just, like, buy something to fill that void.
It's
deeper than that.
Yeah. And so it makes you think, like, what are we sacrificing today?
Yeah, in our own, like, pursuit of happiness.
Yeah. Are we missing out on the things that, like, really matter?
The things that, like, actually make us human.
Yeah. Like connection.
Yeah.
Purpose.
Like,
even just the messiness of life.
The beauty of the mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, think about those feelies again.
Okay, yeah.
It's like they're so immersed in this experience, but even that gets old.
Right? Like, they always need more.
Yeah.
Something new, something stronger.
Yeah.
It's never enough.
It's like they're trying to fill this hole with just, like, stuff.
Yeah, with experiences and material things.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not the right shape.
It doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit.
Yeah, and I think that's, like, maybe the thing that the world state couldn't get rid of.
Like, maybe that's what it means to be human.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that longing for something more.
Yeah, maybe that's the lesson here. Like, true happiness doesn't come from outside.
No, it comes from inside.
Yeah. It comes from, like, your values, your relationships.
The connections you make.
Yeah.
Your sense of purpose.
Yeah.
Like, all those things that, like, make up who you are.
Yeah.
It's about embracing all of it.
The good and the bad.
The ups and the downs.
Yeah, ups and the downs.
Yeah, the joys and the sorrows.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah.
It's about living a life that has meaning.
Exactly.
Not just, like, comfort.
Yeah, it's easy to get comfortable.
Yeah.
But, like, what's the point if it doesn't mean anything?
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, we want to leave you with this question.
Okay.
Like, what kind of world do you want to live in? Do you want to live in a world that's all about comfort and just, like, doing what you're told?
Right.
Or do you want to live in a world that challenges you?
Yeah.
That lets you be an individual?
That lets you grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that lets you experience, like, everything.
Yeah, the whole spectrum of being human.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Exactly. Even the ugly parts.
Yeah.
The choice is yours.
Every day.
Yeah. With every little decision you make.
Every click.
Yeah, every purchase.
Every conversation.
Yeah, you're shaping the world.
You're shaping your world and the world around you.
And so It's not as, like, dystopian as Brave New World, hopefully.
Fully not.
But it's something to think about.
Yeah, it's definitely a warning.
Like, progress isn't always good.
Right.
And happiness without depth, it's not really happiness.
No.
And comfort without connection, it's kind of lonely.
Yeah, it's empty.
So thanks for joining us
Yeah, thanks for diving deep with us.
on this journey through Brave New World.
Yeah, hopefully it gave you a lot to think about.
Yeah, more questions than answers.
Always more questions than answers.
That's what we like.
And hopefully, made you a little more curious about the world.
Yeah.
And how we're shaping it.
Yeah.
So, until next time.
Keep questioning
Keep exploring.
and keep diving deep.